10th episode of our research group, our CURA100 global presentations. Every Tuesday at 8 a.m. we have an amazing conversation with one of our presenters. I'm making some kind of a move here, as I always do with the YouTube, because remember, we're live, so I have to make adjustments into the presentation. This is live, this is spontaneous. We're having a lot of fun. Today we have Alison Pozo Cervantes from the beautiful city of Kissimmee in Florida, and Evelyn Fonseca, she is coming from Chicago. Kamila Piña, our presenter, she is in Kissimmee also. Oh, we have a lot of Kissimmeers, guy. And Evelyn Mateo from Yonkers. Zara Zainab Hamida, she is in New York City. And Kara Mariusun, when she's not in Turkey, she is in New York City. So we're very happy to have today these discussions about the FDA-approved digital therapies. Bill Gates is saying that a couple of 5-10 years, lawyers and doctors will disappear. The intelligence AI will somehow brings emotional, professional, excellent to prescribe and excellence to diagnose faster and to understand us. So we have asked Kamila Pina to present to us her view and introductions about the Federal Food and Administration's approved digital therapy. So to introduce Kamila Pina today, we're going to have Evelyn Fonseca. Evelyn Fonseca, take it from here.
Thank you, Dr. Pina. So Kamila Pina is a recent graduate of Niagara University, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology with a minor in Sociology in August 2024. During her time at Niagara, she was an active member of several student organizations, including the Health and Wellness Club, the Black Student Union, Latinos Unidos, and Kamila currently serves as the Billing and Schedule Specialist, as well as the Internship Coordinator for students at Manhattan University, Alfred University, and the University of Las Américas. She brings strong organizational skills and a commitment to excellence in supporting both client services and student development. In addition to her professional roles, Kamila completed a 100-hour volunteer experience with the Niagara Alliance for Restorative Practices, where she assisted in facilitating restorative circles and advocated for equitable resources for underfunded schools. Passionate about mental health and community advocacy, Kamila plans to pursue a master's degree in mental health counseling. She currently divides her time between New York City and Florida. Without further ado, here is Kamila Pina.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay. Everyone see this?
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
So my presentation on the evolution of FDA-approved digital therapeutics. This document explores the rapidly evolving landscape of FDA-approved digital therapeutics, DTX, examining their definitions, regulatory pathways, current applications, administration protocols, clinical evidence, limitations, and future trends. It provides a comprehensive overview for healthcare professionals, policymakers, and stakeholders interested in understanding the integration of digital technologies into modern medical practice. Understanding digital therapeutics definitions and mechanisms. Digital therapeutics, DTX, represents a new category of soft-based interventions designed to deliver evidence-based clinical therapy. Unlike general wellness apps, DTX undergoes rigorous clinical validation and regulatory review to ensure safety and efficacy. These interventions can take various delivery formats, including mobile apps, web platforms, virtual reality environments, and even video games tailored to specific therapeutic needs. A key aspect of DTX lies in their integration of advanced technologies such as artificial intelligence, data analytics, and principles of behavioral psychology. AI algorithms can personalize treatment plans and adapt interventions based on individual patient responses, while data analytics provide insights into treatments and adherence and outcomes. Behavioral psychology principles are often embedded within the design to promote engagement and sustain behavior change. Furthermore, DTX often operate under a prescription-based access model, meaning that they require authorization from a healthcare provider. This ensures that patients receive appropriate medical guidance and oversight during their treatment journey, aligning with established standards of care. Like software-based interventions delivering evidence-based clinical therapy, various delivery formats like mobile apps, web platforms, virtual reality, and video games. Key technologies are AI, data analytics, behavioral psychology integration, and prescription-based access model requiring healthcare provider authorization. FDA regulatory framework for digital therapeutics. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, has established specific regulatory pathways for the review and approval of digital therapeutics. These pathways are designed to ensure that DTX meet the same standards of safety and effectiveness as traditional pharmaceuticals and medical devices. Several approval pathways exist, including de novo classification for novel devices with no predicate 510K, clearance for a device substantially equivalent to existing ones, and breakthrough device designation for innovative technologies that address unmet medical needs. The evidence requirements for authorization may differ from those for traditional drugs, with a focus on clinical trial data demonstrating significant improvements in patient outcomes. Notably, there has been a significant increase in FDA approvals for DTX in recent years, reflecting the growing interest and investments in this field. For example, there was a 50% increase in FDA approvals for DTX in 2023. The FDA considers several criteria for medical necessity and prescription authorization, including the severity of the condition, the potential benefits of DTX, and the availability of alternative treatments. And this is just kind of like, again, an overview of what I said. Current FDA-approved digital therapeutics by condition. The variety of FDA-approved digital therapeutics are now available for use in treating a range of medical conditions. These DTX offer innovative approaches to managing and improving patient health outcomes. In the realm of psychiatric disorders, several DTX have gained approval. These include Rejoin for major depressive disorder, MDD, Daylight RX for generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, and Prism and Nightmare for post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, and nightmare disorder, respectively. For neurological conditions, Nervivo has been approved to migraine prevention, offering a non-pharmacological alternative for patients seeking relief. In chronic pain management, Stanza has been approved for fibromyalgia. Attention disorders are also being addressed with DTX, such as Endeavor RX for attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. This provides a novel approach to improving attention and cognitive function in children with ADHD. Additionally, sleep disturbances, particularly nightmare disorder, are targeted by Nightwear, offering relief through tailored interventions. And then, again, this is just an overview of what I said. Administration and implementation of digital therapeutics. The successful administration and implementation of digital therapeutics require careful attention to several key factors. These include prescription requirements, patient eligibility criteria, integration with existing treatment protocols, patient onboarding and training, monitoring adherence, and provider responsibilities. Since most DTX are prescription-based, healthcare providers must determine patient eligibility based on specific criteria outlined in the DTX labeling. This may involve assessing the patient's medical history, current medications, and suitability for digital interventions. Once the DTX is prescribed, it's crucial to integrate its integrate it seamlessly with the patient's existing treatment plan. This may involve coordinating the DTX with traditional therapies such as medication or psychotherapy to optimize outcomes. Patient onboarding and training are essential for ensuring that patients can effectively use the DTX. This may involve providing clear instructions on how to download and use the app, setting up reminders, and accessing support resources. Monitoring adherence to the DTX is also critical for evaluating its effectiveness. This may involve tracking patient usage, engagement, and progress towards treatment goals. Finally, providers have ongoing responsibilities in managing DTX, including monitoring patient outcomes, adjusting treatment plans as needed, and addressing any concerns or side effects. Clinical evidence and efficacy considerations. Robust clinical evidence is essential for demonstrating the efficacy of digital therapeutics. FDA-approved requires DTX developers to conduct rigorous clinical trials and publish their findings in peer-reviewed journals. Several notable trials have provided evidence for the effectiveness of specific DTX. For example, the PROSPER-FM trial evaluated the efficacy of a DTX for fibromyalgia, while the Emotional Faces Memory Task, EFMT, has been used to assess the effectiveness of DTX for depression. Additionally, remote electrical neuromodulation, REN, has been studied for migraine treatment, and digital neuroactivation and modulation has been investigated for various neurological conditions. The FDA requires credible scientific evidence to support the claims made by DTX developers. This typically involves data from randomized controlled trials, RCTs, published in reputable peer-reviewed journals. These studies must demonstrate that the DTX provides a clinically meaningful benefit to patients, such as a reduction in symptoms or an improvement in quality of life. And again, that's just an overview. Limitations and challenges of digital therapeutics. Despite their potential, digital therapeutics several limitations and challenges that must be addressed to ensure their widespread adoption and effective use. These challenges span patient privacy, data security, digital literacy, access disparities, integration with traditional healthcare models, adherence issues, reimbursement complexities, and provider adoption barriers. Patient privacy and data security are paramount concerns as DTX often collects sensitive health information. Ensuring compliance with regulations like HIPAA and implementing robust security measures are crucial. Digital literacy and access disparities can also limit the reach of DTX, as not all patients have the necessary skills or resources to use them effectively. Integrating DTX with traditional healthcare delivery models can be complex, requiring seamless communication and coordination between providers and digital platforms. Long-term adherence and engagement issues are also common, as patients may lose interest or motivation over time. Addressing these issues require innovative strategies to keep patients engaged and motivated. Reimbursement and insurance coverage complexities pose a significant barrier to adoption, as payers may be hesitant to cover DTX without sufficient evidence of their cost effectiveness. Provider adoption barriers and training needs must also be addressed, as healthcare professionals may require additional training to effectively prescribe and manage DTX. Future directions and emerging trends. The field of digital therapeutics is poised for continued growth and innovation in the coming years. Several emerging trends are shaping the future of DTX, including expanding indications for existing platforms, combination therapies with conventional treatments, advancements in personalization algorithms involving regulatory frameworks, and market growth through industry partnerships. Existing DTX platforms are exploring new indications and expanding their reach to address a wider range of medical conditions. Combination therapies that integrate DTX with traditional treatments, such as medication or psychotherapy, are also gaining traction. These approaches aim to synergize the benefits of both modalities to achieve better patient outcomes. Advancements in personalization algorithms are enabling DTX to tailor interventions to individual patient needs and preference. This may involve using AI to analyze patient data and adapt treatment plans in real time. As the DTX market grows, industry partnerships are becoming increasingly important for driving innovation and expanding access to these technologies. Collaboration between DTX developers, pharmaceutical companies, and healthcare providers can accelerate the development of and adoption of DTX. And I think that's it.
Excellent. Thank you, Kamila. So let's have a discussions in terms of the presentations with the team. For you, Kamila, what do you think it's important for us to understand and to have in mind as clinicians? And for you, in the future of your career, how do you see yourself using DTX?
You guys, hello? You guys cut off.
How important, do you hear me?
Yes.
How important is for you, and what of the presentations you think is important for us clinicians to have in mind, and for you in your future as a clinicians, how do you see yourself using it?
I guess I could use it by like using an app. I know that's how it's like digital therapy works. And I guess like I don't know, having like a doctor help you monitor your progress. Again, it only works for certain people, like adults, not really like kids. So I don't know if I would really like what's the word? Always use it just because it's not like it just helps manage it, not really cure it. So yeah.
Because
And
it's
I can also use other treatments like medicine or therapy sessions instead.
okay, because it's been FDA approved. Somehow, do you believe it will be used alongside without the supervision of a healthcare professional?
I think so. Maybe not like anytime soon. I still think it's like really new and I don't think people like trust it very well. Yeah.
Okay, good. Um, so what do you think is the next? What you recommend we'll do in terms of probably get to know them or use them? What is your recommendation generally after your presentation for us?
What do you mean?
What do you recommend us like to do if you see us using it with cautious, or if let's say you are the expert on the field, will you say use it only? Would you say use it in combination with other modality, or what would be your recommendation?
I mean, I would use it, but I would use it like lightly with the right person and condition. Like in my presentation, it says that it can help treat issues like ADHD, anxiety, also sleep issues like insomnia and also substance use. So, I mean, like unless like you guys, unless those are like specific issues, then I think like it really just depends on the person who's using it, if they prefer that or in-person treatment. It's also not for everyone, for every person or every condition. So, it really just depends if you like enjoy that. But also like it's pretty easy to use. I think you just need your device and internet basically. But also I would definitely recommend like if it's recommended by a doctor or therapist.
Exactly. So it means you cannot use it without the authorization or prescriptions of a healthcare professional.
Yeah.
So you cannot go and open up that application, that DTX, without being authorized by a psychotherapist, psychologist, or medical doctor.
Yeah, because it's not for everyone. So I think you have to be like prescribed for it, basically.
So it means you have to follow some criteria of diagnosis to be prescribed?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I believe we have to, all of us, to be aware of how many FDA approved do you count in your presentations? Do we have 5, 10? And what are the major disorders that this DTX been prescribed? You know, how many do we have? Do we know so far?
From my presentation, it said that it was ADHD, anxiety, substance abuse, and insomnia. So.
Okay, and how many DTX are already approved? 5, 10 of those? I know that for those disorders, but like how many of the application are being approved?
I can look on my thing. Not
So it means
clear.
that there is not a lot of those DTX approved so far. So so give us most likely the number, because it's very important for us, because we're ahead of the game. You know, the CURA100 AI global supergroup is ahead of the game, and we need to know them. You know, I would like to see in the future, in the summit, Kamila, so you can present and give us example, like, you know, now that we know everything about DTX, we're gonna go one by one, and we would love you to explain one by one, know where they are, like the price of it, how you prescribe it, the disorders, the effectiveness of each one of them, so that we can have a very much kind of understanding. Because I see, for example, Kamila being an expert on DTX, I see Evelyn being an expert on human and AI coaching, I see Saeed Hemida being an expert on stigma, how to prevent it, how to treat, which is very important. It's connected to maintenance and to coming to us. I see Mario Zoom being an expert on all the technology that exists and all the initiatives that you can have to reach the human potential. I see Edward, for example, working on OCD's possibilities of AI and applications and recommendations. Rosaura is working within the research of diseases, chronic diseases, and psychosomatic and treatment. Alison Posson, she's like a new, but she's like developing and defining her own research. So most likely, how many FDA approved do we have?
So I said a few in my presentation. Some of them is the Endeavor RX,
Okay.
Nightwear, Reset O, Summerist, and Rejoin, if I didn't say that.
Yeah, Rejoin. Rejoin was the first FDA approved last year. When I was in the presentations of I believe was in the Bronx, in the Montefiore hospital. I made a presentations of, and I remember I mentioned Rejoined. I even sent a message to the company who put together the Rejoin. They are believed that there is in the process of applying the DTX, and it's something very interesting that you can apply therapy that is beyond the placebo and almost as effective as medication or psychotherapy, because that's what it means, or any kind of clinical and psychological and psychiatric intervention, that you can have that approved, that, you know, someone can go to an applications and be here and be cured and have the same effect as psychotherapy. That for me was amazing. And I really thank you, Kamila, for bringing this to us, for bringing this amazing presentations to us. So let's open up the floor. And then also you presented a calm and well put your presentation. So I like that. And also you responded accordingly, the questions. So that's very important. So let's go to Cara Mario Zoom. Then we're going to go to Rosaura, Evelyn Fonseca, then Himida and Alison Pozo. Mario Zoom.
Good morning, everybody. Kamila, I really enjoyed your presentation, and there was definitely a lot of new information for me. This was something that I haven't focused on. So I was definitely taking notes. And as you were talking at the end, I did start to look up, since I don't know a lot about these digital therapies, to see what was coming up on here, FDA-approved digital therapies. And I noticed that they have on the list, it was like you mentioned, rejoin major depressive disorder, and then also something for anxiety. But I was thinking of this other one, postpartum depression and major depressive disorder. So somebody is using a digital therapy. What would you recommend as part of like a whole treatment plan? If they're using that, someone's got to be, I would think, checking in on them. Like how often are they using it? When are they using it? What would you recommend? So like, let's just say someone that's using it in your family. How often would you want somebody, a therapist, a doctor, making sure they're using it properly, and getting feedback?
I guess it really just depends on like the doctor or the therapist, because again, like it is a prescribed thing. You can't really get it like just searching it up or getting the app. So using it for like depression and anxiety or
Right.
like approved for postpartum, it really just depends. Like if it's needed, you get medication. Again, if it's needed, you can talk to a therapist. Um, it can help, but it may not be enough depending on the case. So like if you have like a light to moderate, I think
Right.
I think maybe I would say like weekly or something. Depending on if like you have a more severe case, then I guess you would have like more checkups. But again, like talking to your doctor, they can prescribe like a right, not prescribe, but they can give you like a right dosage of what you need.
That makes sense. So I guess just staying in
But I don't
close
know. I
contact.
guess it would just depend on the case.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent. Rosaura, you take on the presentation? Unmute.
Yes, good
Unmute
morning.
and
Wait.
screen on.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Right. I came on almost to the end of it, of the digital, was it digital therapy? And the FDA approvals. I'm wondering how effective they are. Are there any way that they measure their effectiveness?
I think they're proven to be effective. I don't know, depending on how effective they are. It just depends on like what specific like treatment you're getting. Also if like your specific like let's say postpartum, I don't know how like the process for that compared to like anxiety, when I know anxiety is a more popular like treatment plan. So depending on like if they've shown improvement in their like clinical trials, I guess it's as effective as in-person therapy for mild for less mild for like mild to moderate cases. I don't know if your case is more severe. I don't know if the effectiveness will be better, I guess. It also doesn't work for every severe condition. It also depends on your age, consistency of use, and again, your condition. Yeah.
Yeah, so if it means if FDA approved, Federal and Drug Administration is the quality assurance institution in America and in the world to approve any kind of medical psychiatric procedure. It have to be tested and proven, evidence-based, and you have to have, by the way, a lot of researchers behind, and you have to have a lot of money. Sometimes to approve an application, you have to invest $1 million, $2 million, $5 million, $100 million on research, your team, your lab, completely. Imagine the approval of the Pfizer and Moderna vaccination. imagine the effort, imagine the money, the people, the expert to say FDA approved. If you say FDA approved, it's like that is effective, that is it has efficacy, it's been proven, you can use it. Because if not, you can sue the American government, you can sue the health organization, because it needs to be really proven. And to prove, yeah, you have to have a lot of money, a lot of team, a lot of researchers, doctors, professionals have to be proven against the placebo, and have to be proven against the medication. Let's say for anxiety, how many medication for anxiety really treat anxiety for the last couple of 100 years? How psychotherapy we know is proven for? How the schools of psychotherapy is proven to be better than cognitive behavioral cognitive behavioral psychotherapy? So FDA approval means, oh wow, this is for real. So so thank you, Kamila, for bringing us that couple of probably 5, 10 most likely FDA approved digital therapy, like competing with us. I mean, like they are competing. The competition is with the clinician, and the competition is with the psychotherapist, and the competition is with the medications and the therapeutic that already exist to treat those disorders. So so it means for us, we don't have to go checking all the applications that we see in the whole world, like for therapy, for anxiety or PTSD, whatever. No, no, no. Is that FDA approved? Yes or no? So Kamila is telling us only this couple of we clinicians have to pay attention to, because that's FDA approved. So you said something into there is a difference between DTX, FDA approved DTX, and wellness. What did you mean with that, by that? And wellness applications and things like that.
What do you mean?
So you say wellness. I heard that you say wellness.
In my presentation?
Yeah. There is a phrase that you say this is different. This FDA approved DTX are different than the wellness application that exists.
I can look for it.
Yeah, look for it. But I see that wellness application in all kind of any scenes that you see that will give you a sense of feeling good, getting nirvana or mindfulness, and or giving you some kind of self perspective of wellness is not the same as FDA approved application for a specific disorder. So I mean, like from the beginning, you make that clear. All the applications of wellness that you can find in YouTube or in social media, or any kind of applications, is different than DTX.
Mm-hmm.
And since that's really important to know.
So yeah. So again, like a lot of these like apps and programs are not designed to improve like mental and emotional well-being, but obviously it's more necessary to treat the diagnosed condition. But like again, like these aren't really to like, especially some that are not often like FDA approved, they don't claim to treat the disease, but like again, they're just more for like as like a helpful tool. A lot of like the wellness focus like apps are more like for reducing stress, like anxiety, improve sleep, supporting like mindfulness or meditation. I think there's like an app, Headspace. I feel like that's often like referred to a lot. But like again, like the wellness app and the FDA approved digital therapies are very different, as in like the wellness apps like support general well-being. There's not a prescription needed, and it's also not studied in clinical trials, whereas the FDA approved digital therapies are treating a specific medical condition. Like I said earlier, like you need sometimes you do need a doctor's supervision. And again, like clinical trials, and there's also like certain restrictions and guidelines that you have to follow, where as the wellness app, it's just like you can just use it at any time. And it is like the wellness apps are very different from the DTX in like many ways.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. We're learning a lot. All right. All right. Let's go to Evelyn Fonseca. What's your take on Dr. Kamila Piña presentation?
I thought it was really interesting and relevant. I think it related to a lot of the presentations that we have seen in like for this podcast, and even like the presentations that I've done as well, and kind of like um, that similar like main idea that these new like technology and things like that, like it's very like helpful and um, can be very helpful to professionals, and really expand like these like what professionals can do for their patients and things like that. But it's important to see that it can't be by itself. It has to be that connection, and with it working like correctly together, then it really can expand to and like change patient care and stuff like that. But um, that's with you know doing it the correct way and recognizing that it has to work together. So yeah.
Yeah, good. So it means we're gonna have a lot of set of toolbox at our disposal, we clinicians, that we can say, for these patients that I have, I'm gonna see this one, I'm gonna see this one, I'm gonna do this with these patients. There is an echo. Can someone mute everybody? So, and then I'm gonna see this one, I'm gonna do this one with this one, and to this one, I'm gonna prescribe a DTX. I'm gonna use rejoin for this one. Like, we would like to know in the future, Kamila Piña, in terms of, okay, for my group of patients, why do I have to prescribe rejoin for depression to this one and not to this one? Because this group of patients, these 20 patients, I will keep them. I will see them holistically, But for this one, I would like to know the age, the maturity, the intelligence, the kind of investment in terms of training them for the specific DTX. I see myself like I have a lot of toys at my disposal that I can use that are effective as me talking, and that I can prescribe to my patients, and I can say, yes, Dr. Pina, it really is going to help me? Are you sure? Yeah. Just go take it. And I would like to see then the efficacy moving forward. And also we would like to make clinical cases presentations in terms of, well, with these patients I use this DTX, with this one I use this DTX, and let's see what happened. That's why I sent a message to rejoin in the last year, and now after your presentation, I'm more inclined to go and check them out, all of them, and then to see how can I use them, also how effective it is, the price, if it's easy to apply to be a member. Like when you do the assessments, couple assessments that they pay $29, or I pay, and then we meet again to give them a training and applications. I give them a master presentation on the topics of sound relationship house, and then the whole patients with me, we follow through. So how much will be training them, prescribing the DTX, following the DTX? How long will it take for me to see them? Like in a month, come see me in a month, come see me in 3 months? Or it's going to be a combination of, I will see you on Wednesday, Friday you use the DTX. So this is a challenge for us to see and to understand. You will see that first than me, and that's why I'm bringing that. You, Hamida, I don't know Mariusum already, but yeah, she will do. But Alison, Evelyn, and Camila, they will be like, oh, I am here in Paris since these 10 patients. The rest are on the TX. What? What are you talking about? Yeah, and they're doing great. I can present in my last conference in Venezia. I presented this DTX case with this patient, blah 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 blah. You know, I would like us talking about that in the near future, and it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. You know that we'll be buying it, and now I'm more motivated than just go and do it, just go and apply. You know, how much will be for the clinicians? We don't know. I mean, like, will will it cost for us $1,000 to be in to prescribe them? How much will be for the the client, the patients? Will it be, oh, you can use it for 3 months, 2 sessions a week, and then you pay for 12 sessions of this specific DTX for PTSD, HDHD, postpartum depressions, anxiety, things like that. You know, so it's amazing. Don't you think it's amazing, Camila, the future in terms of what you presented today? Mute.
Yes, I definitely think it's pretty cool. It definitely shows how like we're moving and progressing as like the years like pass. Did you want me to answer those questions that you just said, or
Well, if you want to, you can do.
so I have something like written down. So like for like the requirements and like the ages, it again like it just depends. I know some are for specific groups. Like I know some are not, some are for 21 plus, and then for like Endeavor RX is approved for kids ages like 8 to 12 with ADHD. Some are also only 21 or 22. And sometimes they'll state if it's designed, who it's designed for, like for teens, adults, or like seniors. Obviously for like intelligence requirements, there are specific like a certain level that you need depending on your reading comprehension, memory and attention, and like if you're able to follow like instructions or something. And again, depending if you are like younger, you do need supervision, like a therapist, a parent, or a caregiver, just because sometimes like certain kids don't really know how to like log in, like do the whole process, where I feel like adults have like a better understanding of it. Again, it just depends on like for like time wise, again, it just depends. Sometimes people go a few weeks, months, again, depending on your certain like prescription and which condition you're using. It depends on like how long you're doing it for. And yeah. And
Excellent.
again, it depends. And for like money wise, it depends on like if your provider insurance, or like if it really just depends on your doctor and stuff.
Excellent. Very well. Well put. Good. Well put. Okay. Finally, Alison, Nicole, what is your take?
Hello. I thought the presentation was really good. These new digital therapies are helping a lot, especially with things like, for example, depression or anxiety. There's still room for improvement, like teaching people how to use them properly and protecting privacy, but they can be very useful in everyday life.
Excellent. I believe we have a wonderful presentations today. Kamila Pina prepared herself and gave us a picture of what's going to be in the future, and how effective we can be using for specific patients, how long we can use those DTX, also, in rural places, and when we're full of patients, and then, but we want to take those certain patients, that we can have those as a possibility, as alternative for treatment, because we cannot take all the cases of the world. We cannot see all the patients. we are super group. We have a lot of clinicians, and patients are coming almost every day. So we need to decide what we're gonna do with this, with that one. And sometimes, having DTX and understanding them and using them, knowing the implications, the applications, and the ethical consideration for us will be great to go and approach them in a more scientific evidence base, as Kamila told us to use it. So we're very happy with your presentations. And I believe next week, Alison Nicole Pozos is presenting she's ready. All of us, Dr. Pina presents on EMMM, the meta map of projects and applications. Rosaura Van Rey, she presents on chronic diseases. Jimena presents on stigma, wonderful presentation. Mario Zoom, she's presented a different topic. Evelyn Fonseca on AI and coaching. And let's see, what is going to be your topic, Alison Nicole Pozo? Unmute?
Yeah, it's AI with OCD. Exactly the theme, I don't
AI
have.
OCD, so it goes with what also Edward presented. It's connected to AI and OCD. So we're going to be I know we're going to have a wonderful presentations for next Tuesday. So thank you very much, everyone, for being here. Kamila for the presentations. And it was like an introduction to the future of what DTX means for us and the great opportunity we're going to have as a clinicians, privately or in public. So thank you very much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Yeah.